Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another episode of Lockable Figures. Here to help you out with things you may need help with. Today, in this video, we're going to be going over on how you can delete bankruptcies from your credit.
This motivation, sucker, get on your job. If you hate, get on your job. You can look me in my eyes, see I'm ready for whatever. Anything don't kill me, make me better.
I'm your boy, Major Allah, and today I want to be going over a 7-step process that you can use to delete any bankruptcy, no matter what chapter it may be, but you can delete it from your credit report. You might not can delete it from your life, but you can delete it from your credit report. And I'm going to be going over a 7-step process on how you can get that thing done and get it out of there and get back on living your life. Keep in mind that you must follow these steps in the order that I give it to you. So we know the bankruptcy, I always tell you that the bankruptcy is supposed to be on your credit report between 7 and 10 years. And they say it won't fall off by itself until 10 years. That's not always true. Now, the law states that they can keep it on your credit report for 10 years, but there's no law that's saying that they must keep it on your credit report for 10 years. Even though bankruptcies are public record, that doesn't mean that the courthouse that you filed bankruptcy at shared your information with a credit bureau. Credit bureaus are private entities. They have nothing to do with the government at all. Remember that when you're going into dealing with these people, remember that they have no more power than what you have. If they can't prove that they can legally report this, they can't do it. We're going to be going over the following steps. Step 1. You want to make sure that you opt out of a company called LexisNexis. Now, you may be familiar with LexisNexis is, but just know the credit bureaus, this is one of their best friends, because this is where they get their information from. Only way that you benefit from the rights that you have is to exercise them. You exercise them by getting things deleted from your credit report that doesn't supposed to be there. So step 1, you want to make sure that you opt out of a company called LexisNexis. You want to go to their site. I'm going to put the link somewhere, probably right here. Matter of fact, watch me do it. You just go through that simple opt-out process that you just saw, and look, you ain't got to worry about them sharing your information no more. Now, once you has opt out of LexisNexis, you have successfully blocked the way the credit bureaus validate your information. Now, when you're going through the deletion process, you want to make sure that you're opt out of these companies. But when it's time to go to an apply, that's when you want to go back. So the number that they gave you, the confirmation number that they gave you, you want to make sure that you hang on to that number, because you're going to need it to opt back in. Now, when you're doing your suppression form for LexisNexis, you want to make sure that the address that you're suppressing matches the address that's on your bankruptcy. And also use the opt-out form for the address that you're living at currently. So if those are 2 different addresses, you want to have 2 different opt-out forms that you submit. The way that you're going to know that your opt-out was successful, in about a week or so, LexisNexis is going to send you a document, a letter saying that, hey, we approve that your opt-out status, and we will not be sharing your information from this point on, from the date that you file on out, until you opt back in. Step number 2, you want to order your credit report. Order a legit credit report. I'll drop a link for where you can go to get a legit credit report and add fraud protection to your credit report. And you want to make sure wherever your bankruptcy is showing up at, those are the only bureaus that you send a dispute to. You don't want to add more entities. If they ain't reporting, don't get them no help to report it. This violation always happens. you always run into situations where all three credit bureaus is not reporting the same information. And if they're not reporting the same information, you can do a factual dispute and basically dispute any information that's just not lining up. If the bureaus do not have the same information reported, that is a violation, and you can exercise your rights to get that deleted, not just for bankruptcy but for any collection account you may have, and that is per the FCRA. Now, once you have your credit report from all three bureaus and you see exactly what you're trying to delete it, you're all set to move to step 3, which is step 3. Prepare an affidavit of fact to send. Prepare to send it to the bankruptcy court. Now, you're going to send this affidavit of fact to whatever bankruptcy court you may have filed bankruptcy in. Now, this is maybe your local bankruptcy court, or if you was in another state at the time that you filed bankruptcy, you want to send it to that bankruptcy court because those are the people that's housing your information. Now, when you producing the affidavit of fact, it's basically saying that, oh, these are the facts with this case. You are the only person that know the true facts with your case. So you're going to get this letter notarized. Now, the regular dispute letter, you can write it and don't sign it. Just put your name, just type your name at the bottom. But the affidavit of fact has to be notarized. Always keep your original and send them certified copies of this letter. And step 4, you want to prepare a cover letter that you're going to send to your bankruptcy court. And you're trying to verify were you guys the one that shared the information to the credit bureaus. Now, once you share this information with the bankruptcy court, if you stay in the city of the bankruptcy court that you file with, you can hand deliver and have them stamp the letter received. And once they stamp the letter received, you have proof that someone actually received this letter. And that's the more proof you have, the better chance you got to get this bankruptcy off your credit report. With this cover letter, you want to make sure you send a copy of your ID and a recent bill. Have all that attached with the letter, and a copy of the notarized affidavit of fact. Have all that in one packet when you go down to the bankruptcy court. And in this cover letter, basically you're going to be saying that you reached out to credit bureaus and they sent you a letter saying that this bankruptcy was verified and that it was verified through the bankruptcy court. So basically, you're going to be telling them, all I want to know, hey, did the credit bureaus reach out to you guys to verify this information? And if they did reach out, you want to know when did they reach out? And if they didn't contact, you would like to get that in writing saying that they didn't contact the bankruptcy court. And you want to make sure that they stamp the affidavit of fact as received from the courts, along with a self-addressed envelope that you're going to provide. So get a stamp or 2, however many you may need. Fill out an envelope as if you sending it back to yourself and attach that to your packet. So once they have a response, they can use your envelope and send the response back to you. Now, the courts are going to respond to you. They're going to respond basically saying they do not share information. They do not send your information to any credit bureaus to report on your credit report. They're going to send you a letter stating that you are putting the bureaus on notice that you intend to exercise your right. So all unauthorized information that on your credit report, you are demanding it be removed. And you letting them know that by exercising your right, you have the ability to bring legal action to them. Now, once you receive your response back from the bankruptcy court, you're ready to move on to step 5. Step number 5 is generate a dispute letter to each of the bureaus. Prepare dispute letters to dispute the bankruptcy with each bureau that's reporting. This is another letter that you add into your packet, and you want to make a packet for each bureau. So you should have 3 different packets. If only 2 is reporting, you should only have 2 packets. So in each packet, you should have the affidavit of fact the letter, the response, and now you're attaching to those letters your dispute letters. And in your dispute letters, this is where you involve the laws that have been violated. So you look at each right that was violated. Look up in the FCRA or the FDCPA. You're going to look up each violation and put that inside your dispute letter, along with a copy of your driver's license and a recent utility bill. Each bureau must be reporting the same information. This is still part of step number 5. Print out your credit report. Print out 3 different copies of it. And the pages where the bankruptcy is showing up, you want to circle each wrong thing on the actual credit report. Make all type of markings on the pages with the bankruptcy on it, stating that, hey, this the wrong date, court dates don't match, court names don't match. The messier that it is, the more personal it looks. The bureaus take it more personally because they know that this is a person that's very concerned about his or her credit report. Now, in each packet, you should have the bankruptcy dispute letter, the affidavit of fact, the response from the court, a marked up page of the credit report where the bankruptcy is showing up. You want to have that inside your packet, a copy of your driver license, and a most recent utility bill. Now, once you send all these things to the credit bureaus, you want to make sure that you send it certified with a green return receipt. This is basically letting the bureaus know that they are on the time clock and you're timing it because you sent your letters certified, so it has a date attached to it. With that date starts a 30-day clock. If they don't answer you within 30 days, any account that you dispute that don't get answered in 30 days, you get deleted. Now, step number 7 will be any bureau that doesn't delete it, start the process over with a more aggressive dispute letter. You're going to be asking for a reinvestigation of your dispute. So with one, they might not answer you, but if they see it come across a second time, now they'll be more antsier to answer you. Okay, see, that wasn't so bad. So if you follow those steps, step by step, you'll be able to delete bankruptcy from your credit and your family and friends' credit. So, and if you are one of those people that went through all the steps and you understand it, you just don't have the time to do it for yourself, to prepare the documents for yourself, you can reach out to us here at Wildlife Solutions. We will prepare the documents, get them ready for you to get them signed and notarized. The only thing you have to do, sign with it when you take it to the notary and mail it off. And then once the next step comes, we'll walk you through that next step too. But that if you need someone like a extra assistant to get this done. For us here at Wildlife Solutions, we can get it done. So yeah, bankruptcy can be a thing of the past if you want it to be. If you have the mental fortitude and the drive to get these steps done, you'll be surprised on how easily you can get this off your credit and be able to get that house, that car, or get your credit back on track quicker than what someone may think that you can when they tell you, oh, it's going to take 7 to 10 years after bankruptcy before you can get your credit back. That's not always true. You want to exercise your rights. There's no one out here that's going to exercise our rights for us. So we got to exercise our right for ourselves. Okay? So there you have it. Us here at Likeable Figures, we like to see you be better and do better. And I thank you for tuning in. Peace.